Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on the Durango and I finally got that piece of sheet metal. So that came in Saturday, but if you guys couldn't tell, I was kind of tired of drilling spot welds out. So I have to drill some more spot welds out today, but I put this piece up here with some clamps and she looks really, really good. I can't wait to get this thing welded in, but before I weld this in, I need to get this piece of inner sheet metal welded in. So, or at least screwed in and tacked in, because some of these plug welds go through both panels, and I'm not sure if I'm going to just weld this sheet metal on first or screw them all in and then weld them all together, which usually the inner piece really doesn't matter, but the outer pieces really do matter. So what I'm going to do, like I said before, is I'm going to section, I still haven't cut this, but I'm going to section this in up here on this laser weld, and then that'll give me enough overlap so I can line everything up. And I'm also going to have it so these slip in to the piece of the inner and the outer piece of sheet metal up here, and then I could get this in. Also, I'm going to leave this piece connected to this outer or this inner piece of sheet metal, and then I could just set this on here, and it'll be a really good way to line this up and get this kind of lined up as well. It's really good to use sheet metal screws just to line everything up and then make sure doors and everything still fit and the hatch still fits. The one thing that I was kind of disappointed in was this is really different right here. Look at this. This is flat. Over here, this is not flat. So I'm not sure why that is. That's kind of concerns me. Kind of concerns me a little bit. Maybe a little bit more than a little bit, but yeah, it's just kind of weird that it's like that. So hopefully this doesn't cause an issue. I pretty much got my money's worth out of this cut because I have everything I need for the Durango and it's all in here. So that piece right there of inner structure with, like I said, I left that piece on there so it does have a way to line it up there. I also have a way to line it up back there and up here. And then this is that piece of high strength steel that holds the door latch or door hinge, and not the door hinge, but the door striker. And then all of that should line up perfectly. So let's get that piece right there off the Durango, as well as that piece of inner structure off of the Durango. And then we could start cutting everything, lining it up, and I should be able to sheet metal screw most of this in. And like I said before, I opened these up, or not opened these up, pulled the pieces like that out that are cut, and I should be able to just slip the ones for the Durango in here, and it'll be like it never even happened. So I've been working on getting everything onto the Durango and everything lined up. So I ended up putting the old hatch back on the Durango just to figure out what was going on, because the hatch that I got from the salvage yard doesn't line up. So it seems like it's too far over this way, and there's not really much, it doesn't seem like there's much to adjust. So I do know this inner panel right here, I need to bring this panel, I think I need to bring this panel down, because I can't bring this panel up just a little bit. But I have measured from the back of this to this support right here that I haven't moved, and it doesn't seem like anything is out of alignment. So I'm guessing both of these hatches are bad. This one actually fits a lot better than this one, because this one actually closes. The other one doesn't. It just overlaps this tail light about, I don't know, probably a 1/4 inch, and it's probably, you know, a 1/4 inch off on the striker down here. So and you can see this one right here is bent because I had to get it off, and you know, I pried on it and stuff, so it's definitely tweaked pretty bad, probably from the wreck as well. But I need to probably get another hatch, and I need to go to a salvage yard that has a Durango and do some measurements. So, or maybe I could go to the dealership, or maybe I could find somebody that has a Durango or something like that, because I want to measure some points, you know, in space in here, so I can kind of line some stuff up. I do want to get, you know, I'm gonna have to get these even, but the rest of the stuff is, and why I think this quarter panel is in the correct position is because the doors all line up, so everything is good there. It's nice and flush with the top up here, so I don't think that is an issue. The one thing I was thinking was this probably has to, you know, maybe go over, but I think it's probably in the perfect spot. So what I either need to do is I need to raise that block piece of inner structure up just a hair, so that moves. If this hatch is good, let's say this hatch is good, then I would have to move that up to bring the hatch this way. So because that would mean this is low, but I've measured it and it seems fine. I'm not exactly sure why it's not working, but I also probably could put shims in that side. But if I do that, then it's going to be off here. So as you can see over here, it actually has, you know, a pretty decent gap. It's a little bit low, as you can see. I don't know why it's low, but probably from the wreck maybe. And I haven't touched anything on this side, so probably from the wreck. And I'm using the hinges from this hatch, so that could be an issue too. It looks like it's actually buckled right there. Maybe that's an issue because the hinge is right there. But yeah, you can see the gap's pretty good. You can see that there's a pretty decent gap right here because the wing goes on there still. And how the difference, it's probably a little bit over a finger. Over here, it's about the same, but as you can see, it's really tight right there. So I think if I did bring it up, we might get into some weird issues. Actually, that might be what I need to do. Maybe I just need to I think what I'm going to try is bringing this black piece of inner structure, which will raise all of this whole side up just a hair. And I think, and it should move the quarter panel up as well. And then I'll have to loosen all the door hinges because all that should shift up with it. So let's try that. And then if I can figure this whole hatch situation out, I can weld everything in and it's all ready to go. So we're getting very close. So let's finagle this thing a little bit and figure out what's going on, and then hopefully weld it. I looked a little bit more into why the hatch isn't aligning correctly, and I figured that this side was a little bit low. So I measured stuff with a tape measure, and what I did was I measured from the top down and then I measured across, and it looks like my issue is that this side is down lower. So this side is pretty much 44 and about 3/4 to the top of the back, and this side it's like 44 and no, actually I have that backwards. So this side is 44 and 7/8, and this is a little bit below 44 3/4. So what I'm going to do is, what that means is I just need to bring this piece of the structure. I'm going to pull the quarter panel back off, pull this piece of the structure up, just undo all the screws, and then re-screw it in, remeasure it. And that's pretty much what you have to do when you do stuff like this. You have to do a lot of measuring, a lot of fitting, make sure stuff goes together, because really there's no other way to do it. And I already knew that this was going to be sort of low because this was sitting low. So this is sitting low because this is sitting low because the quarter panel rides on that. So this will bring that up. I have the quarter panel back off, and how I'm going to figure out how far I need to lift this. So when you're doing body work and you want to get stuff correct, you want to do everything kind of mathematically, because you don't want to be going around and just guessing. So what I'm doing here is I made 2 marks. So this first mark is just a base mark. The second mark is where we want this bottom line to meet up. So this will give us the same, it'll be 44 7/8 on this side, just the same as it is on the other side if we move it to this second mark. So let's undo all these screws. I need to get a razor blade and cut that, and then we could move this up, re-screw it in, and I think we'll be perfect. And I think the hatch should close, and the quarter panel will line up a lot better, and a bunch of stuff will work. And then we can get ready to weld it. I need to still grind some stuff down on the quarter panel, and I want to get some dents out of the rails where I think when they pulled the seats out, the guy kind of hit the seat on the rail a few times on the front and the rear before they cut it out. So I want to fix that or get it pretty straight. I got my hammer and dolly kit here now, and back here there's a little indent that I want to kind of smooth out a little bit. I'll probably still have to put a little bit of icing on it. But just finished moving that piece of inner structure up, which moves half of the hatch bolting inner structure up. And as you can see on the piece of tape, that line right there, the bottom line, we moved it up, and now I am measuring 44 7/8 on both sides. So what I'm going to do is put probably some of those C-clamps in the inside just to make sure it's not going to move, because I don't have it all the way screwed in. Then I can set the hatch on there, and hopefully, I'm really hoping that it just shuts perfectly and latches. The only bad thing is I probably need to take the latch out of it, because it seems like I need to plug it into the vehicle for it to open the hatch, because I can't figure out how to get these mechanisms to unlatch manually. So let's get the hatch on there, and if that works, then I could test fit the quarter panel one more time and put some locating screws in that. What I mean by a locating screw is just pretty much something like this, and it's just not a big hole. So you're just screwing straight through both pieces of sheet metal. And if you do that in a few spots throughout, it really helps. It actually lines it up perfectly. So that really is a good tip as well. So let's get the hatch on there one more time, make sure she's going to close, and you know, hit the striker in the correct spot. The guy come over and look at the Durango that welded the front end on my Hellcat, and he pretty much confirmed my suspicions. So I was thinking that this hatch, you know, everything over here was lining up, and he said, yeah, everything over here is good. But the issue is I need to pull that over just a hair. So the hatch doesn't have any way to pretty much move it around or line it up with anything. Their holes are self-centering, and so are the ones that bolt the hinges to the hatch. So I don't want to mess with those. And he has some clamps he's going to let me borrow that tighten as you tighten or clamp down more as you pull on them. So I'm going to grab on that pinch weld over there, pull that over, and pull it over until the hatch latch is perfectly centered, and then we should be good to go. So unfortunately, I need to get those measurements from that Durango at the junkyard, and I need to get those tools from him tonight. So I'm going to wrap this video up. I was really hoping to have everything, you know, have the quarter panel on there plug welded, but I'd rather have it done right than done fast. And pretty much from the quarter window forward, everything lined up perfectly. So we just need to fix this whole hatch situation, and once that's fixed, we'll be ready to go. And then I can put everything together, put the lowering springs on, put the adjustable arms, get alignment, get the AC charge, put the, you know, seats in there, put airbags in it, etc. So, and then we can get it ready to paint. But unfortunately, we didn't get all that stuff done today. So if you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.